Starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. We want to welcome you to our webinar today. We're going to be talking about NAV report layout development with our very own Richard Walcott from here at Innovia Consulting. I just want to remind you before we get started, first, we record this and all of our webinars. So you can watch it again later. You can show it to somebody else in your organization. It'll be posted on our website by the end of the day. And of course, our website is innovia.com. Also, if you have any questions, go ahead and type those into the question box. I will get them called out and answered for you. So without any further ado, Richard, I will hand it right over to you.
All right, thanks, Abby. Like I said, today we're going to go over the NAV word layout. It's introduced in 2015. Specifically, we're going to see how to create a new layout based on the Word templates and tie it into the sales order report. As I said, these new layouts as a alternative to the RTC layouts are introduced in 2015. They use Word 2013 and higher DOCX files to view and edit the layouts based on custom XML parts in Words. To me, they're specifically designed for simple reporting. As we'll see later, the data sets are set up differently than the normal RTC reports, as they're not as complicated. Another thing that they can be used for, they can also be stored inside the NAV object itself, or multiple layouts can be stored in the customs report layout page and switch between views. Currently in NAV 2016, there's 5 objects with built-in Word layouts already for an alternative to the RTC layout. They all have the mini in front of them: the sales quote, order confirmation, invoice, credit memo, and mini statement. If we go to NAV 2016 right now, we can see some of the differences between the dataset differences between the original RTC report and the Word layout. And to see in the original report, we have the sales header, sales line, comment line, a lot of indentations where you print the sales line and print any comment line associated with that sales line. Then it goes back and prints the next sales line. This is one of the biggest differences between the Word layout and the RTC layout, which is why they created 2 different actual report objects. In the Word layout, go to the top here. You see, we don't have a lot of the indentations. It kind of prints in a like SQL linear format. So when it prints the sales line, you couldn't put the comment line data item underneath it, because it'll just print everything in the sales line data that's filtered, and then it will go ahead and print everything in a comment line. The Word layout itself doesn't handle a lot of the conditional printing or formatting, so a lot of it is handled inside the data set itself. Another difference is, as you can see, this sales line data item is actually temporary. As they actually build the sales lines from the sales line table on the fly in a function that's in the sales post code unit, get sales lines. So the data sets are quite a bit different from the original report. Now, to activate, even though these are built in, you still have to activate them through report selections and a new page called report layout selection pages. I can show that here. Go to the sales order. Oops, if I could spell. selection. See, I've already changed this, but originally it's at the 10075 report. Now I've changed it to the 1305 sales confirmation. And we can print the see, I changed it to the 1305 report, but this is actually a RTC layout, as the report objects, the Word report objects actually have both RTC and Word layouts based in it. To change it to use the Word layout instead of the RTC layout, I have to go to the new report layout selection page. It takes a while to load as it's loading every report in the database. So if I go to report 1305, see it's RDLC built in, and I can change it to the Word built-in layout. Now when I go to print from here, from the order, it will print the Word. This is the Word layout, the built-in Word layout for the sales order 1305 object. Alright, the next thing would be to, now if you wanted to edit this report, edit the Word layout itself, there is a new tab inside of Word that is usually not shown. I've shown it here, obviously, but what I did was just have to customize the ribbon, and this developer tab right here is what you have to activate to be able to actually edit the Word layouts in Word 2013 and higher. So once that's activated, you can start editing. Alright, now to edit the build, you can't actually edit the built-in layout. So what you have to do is go to report layout selections again. Or I shouldn't say can't. I said it's stored, the actual layout is stored in here, the built-in layout. So here you can export or import the actual layout. So if I hit export on this, export, you'll see the original. This is the original Word layout that's based in the report. So you could edit it and import it if you wanted to, but you rather make a new custom layout and change it that way, as these all of that data is actually stored in the object, so it would make it even more confusing during upgrades and things like that. So as I said, we need to go to Custom Reports Layouts page and create a new custom layout. The new custom layout will just be a copy of the built-in layout anyway, so that's what we would start with if you wanted to create a new layout based on the existing layout. So go Custom Layouts, hit New. I'm going to insert a new Word layout. As you see, it says it's just a copy of the built-in layout. Another good thing is you can actually test it from these layout pages, this custom layout pages. So I print this to PDF again. See, our new custom layout is exactly the same as the built-in layout. Now if we, wait a minute, oh, I forgot to show part. Now if we wanted to edit this layout, we just hit edit layout from the custom report. We see the Word document layout. Hit the developer tab. XML pane. And here you will see you need to choose the custom XML part, which usually has the object number and the name in it. And once you select that, you will see all the fields in the report object dataset where you can add to the report itself, the layout itself. We're actually going to edit this one today, though. We're going to create a new custom layout, a new layout based on a Word template, a different Word template. So what I'm going to do is go into Word. I already have it saved there, but you can search any Word template from the web in here. Because service code, sales invoices. I picked the sales order blue. You just create it. Then once you save this, just save it to your computer. I already have it saved somewhere. You can come in and import that saved Word template into this report, into this custom layout. Let's change this to blue gradient. Now when I hit edit layout, it shows me that new template that I just saved and created from Word. Obviously, when you're customizing these layouts, you need to make sure you save the previous layout. It's not an easy way to get back to any of these previous layouts once they're saved. So definitely save it before editing. Now we can see how to go through see how to map the fields and get the lines to repeat based on every line that's in there. So I said go back to the XML parts, and now is where we start mapping the fields. For most of them, if there is a text box already there, all you have to do is go to the field you want, right click, and hit map to the selected control. For some fields which are a different data type, like this one is actually like a date picker, you have to actually delete it and insert a new field by right clicking again and using the insert content control, and I'm just going to do plain text for the date. You can also do this for images. So if I wanted to put the company picture up here, let's say insert the, oops, I selected the wrong one. Insert picture. And this would be where the company picture would show up from the company information card. So now I'm just going to go through and fill in some more of these fields. Let's get the rest of the company address. Let's insert a lot of this is just normal word editing. Just put a new line in there. So put the company address 3. Company address 4. Company phone number, I believe, is in here. Oh. Company phone number and its email. as you can see, all the way they have it set up, everything is alphabetically ordered underneath its own. So header section or line section. So this is the header fields. If you go down, we had the line data set that I mentioned was temporary. And here's all the line fields where we get to later. Let's fill in some of these contact names. Oh, actually, let's fill in the document number. Could change this to actual order. It's one of the good things about this. It's just the ease of changeability compared to the RDLC editor. Just put the customer address in here. It's 3. I don't need all of them, but ship to address. These boxes are already here, so I'm just mapping. I don't think there's a phone number, but we can add that afterwards. So these boxes don't have any text boxes, so I need to actually insert the content control. And say I didn't need a job column up here, so I can just highlight the row and highlight the column, and just delete the column. Let's put in a shipping method. Do we need a shipping terms? I don't think we need shipping terms either. So let's delete that too. Let's put the shipment date in the delivery date field. This is hard-coded due on receipt, but we're actually going to put in the payment terms field. Payment terms description, I should say. And then we put in the due dates. So now when it comes to the lines, it's more the same mapping, but then there is something different we need to do afterwards to get it to print each line on an order, because we don't have to, a number of lines on an order can change, so we can't just fill in 5 or 6 lines how much we think we can. So first we only need to fill in 1 line. So let's fill in a quantity, the item, this is from the line data set, the item number, the description, the unit price, discount. Where is the discount? Oh, discount. So this discount is actually, I believe it's like the discount text. So we will have to change that and the line amount total. As I mentioned before, the word layout doesn't really handle totaling and things like that like the RDLC, so the totaling is actually done within the report data sets as well. It has its own totals data set where it adds up everything, manually would say. So I'll go down to the totals data set, add in my total fields, total VAT amount, total subtotal, and total discount. I don't believe we had a total discount, so we can add that later. So I think we've got most of our fields added here. see. So this is the part where I was talking about. We don't need all of these fields because, so if I highlight this first line and then I go to the line data item, this is where, multiple lines per order. When I right click and hit insert content control, there's this one option repeating. So what this is going to do is going to make this line repeat for every sales line in the order. So we actually don't need any of these boxes right here anymore. Let's put that back at the bottom again. Alright, let's hit save. Let's see what it looks like. Every time you save, you have to save the Word document from there. And then when you exit out, it asks you, do you want to import the changes every time? We can just actually test it from here. We see you have most of the data filled in. We've got the company picture, the order number, the date, customer number. We don't have any phone numbers. Data, the discount is actually the percentage discount. You might want the discount amount in there. And we need a total discount field that we can add. Oh, I forgot to add the company name down there. So we went over the mapping fields and line repeater. So next we're going to try to actually add or modify fields to the data set. Like I said, there wasn't a phone number, so we can go ahead and add that, and the discounting fields. Discount amount, actual discounted amount, not the percentage. So if I go to our 1305, and another thing I just wanted to show as well. Remember I said the formatting is not really handled in RTC. So the date formatting as well will need to be handled from the data set as well. So if I go back there, we can show you what the date was showing. It was printing the full date for say if the delivery date is showing the full date. Say if I wanted to change that to the short date, I would need to actually change that inside the dataset format as well. This formatting numbers are online as well, but if I change this to 1, it'll turn to the short date. So let's add what was it? I think we needed the customer phone number and the company fax number. Just add that here. I try to keep in the naming convention so it'll keep in the alphabetical order. Let's try to add the company fax number. And we can add, see it has the line discount percentage for the lines, but I want to see the line discount amounts. Where is it? Sales line. Oops. Could I ever find the thing? Oh, I forgot this line. Forget the data item. It's actually called line. So let's get the line discount amount. All right, line discount amount. And we can also, remember I said this, the RGLC does not do totaling, so we have to manually do the totaling. If we look into the sales line data item, you will see where the totaling is occurring. Let's add the variable for this. Let's add a total line discount amount field. This is where it's resetting all its totals for every sales header it hits. Let's add our field here. Oh, total. And here's where it's actually adding them all together. So we add that here as well. Plus equals line discount amount. So this will bring us to the total line discount amount at the bottom. Let's see, was there anything else we needed to add? I think that was it. Alright, so let's save this. You have to come out of the, you have to actually come out of the report selection, report layout selection if you want to run it from there again, as it needs to rebuild all those. For testing purposes, to run it from the custom layout. So if I run this now, oh, not run. We haven't added it yet. I added the fields to the data set, but we still need to add it to the report layout itself. Now that I added those fields to the data set, they should show up here in the data set fields. Let's see, customer, how did I name that thing? Customer phone and line discount. Wait, not showing up yet. Maybe I need to refresh. I didn't go back. I actually didn't go out far enough. Let's go back out here. All right. Alright, now let's go to 1305. Custom layouts. Let's edit this layout. Oops. 9 discount amounts. So now we see the customer phone number. There's a little bit of delay there. Like I said, it has to refresh. Let's add the customer phone number to both of these guys. And now we have I did add the company fax number as well. Let's add that there. Oh, the company name I forgot to fill in. Oops. What am I doing? That's just a little too low. And I'll replace this line discount amount with the line discount percentage with the actual amount that we added. And now we can bring in this line discount amount. Total line discount amount, sorry. Let's go down to the total section. Actually, I didn't add it to the total. Oh, missed a step there. I added the totaling field, but I didn't add the total variable to the total data set. Alright, let's go back out and test it again. Actually, I forgot to mention, once you have your custom layout created, there is another way to get to it. You can go to Custom Report Layouts. Here, it would only show any custom layouts that you actually create yourself for any report. So we just need to get that total discount field filled in here. Where is it? Total. It didn't show up again. For some reason, there's some type of delay today. There it is, total line discount amount. Some rare delay. Anyways, map this in here. See, I've got an extra box here or something. Let's delete this cell. Oops. Try to get this cell removed here. Oh, didn't want to do that. I'm not even sure where this thing came from. It's one of the finicky things about it, though. Removing blank cells out of nowhere. Just delete this entire row here. And insert a row below. I'm not sure where this is coming from. Let's see. Sophia's box is not cooperating today. Anyway, I wasted any time, but I can remove that box. It's just not cooperating today. Oh, let's see this report. So we've got the total actual discount amount, and the total discount amount now. Conditional printing of data. This was another limitation of the word reports. Instead of in RDLC where you can choose to print one line or the next conditionally, all of that, like I said before, is being controlled. Will have to be controlled by the dataset in the dataset object itself. So that if you didn't want, say, GL account lines to print, you'd actually have to skip them in the report object itself. And some of the field formatting as well. As we've mentioned, we changed the shipment date. I changed the shipment date format, and now it changed to the short date. Other formatting issues like this would be the control by the dataset would also be the decimal, how many decimals you want to print, or even blank zeros. If there was a zero amount on one of these discount fields, we would have to control it from the dataset if you didn't want actual zero to show up by assigning it to a text variable. So let's see if we had or to a text variable. So, and one other thing I wanted to show that is a good part of the word layouts is it can be easily copied from the import-export that we were doing. It can be easily copied to another report, actually another report itself. Let's see if we go here. So if we go to report layout selections, just try to look at all the work. So I know the sales order and the sales quote have the same table, so we won't get much issues. The only issue with copying layout from table to table is you will get some couple like validation errors, but in most time it's much easier than actually rebuilding the layout itself. So if I did a custom layout, oops, first I need to save. Let's save this layout. Save the sales order layout. And I go to my quote and I hit custom layout. Make a new custom layout. Do the same import that we were showing earlier. First you will get all these error messages, which is basically saying that the data item names or field names don't match. But these two reports are pretty similar, so those are not all of those are not actually errors. Because it'll automatically update it. And then you get the two issues that were left behind are like the shipment date. There was no shipment date on the sales quote report, and the discount field I just added don't show up because they're not in that report object. But everything else, the layout, everything else in the layout automatically copies over. So now you have the same report layout on a separate report done pretty quickly. For just a couple minor modifications, this one will be ready to go. See, these are the issues I was talking about. See the shipment date. They're saying the shipment date is invalid path. Just from the XML part, meaning that the shipment date, line discount amount, and total line discount amount fields are not in the actual data set. Once I add those two fields and remove them from the actual data set itself, those issues will go away. So like if I went in and just, like I said, I could add a field to the data set and remove them as well, but just to show that the issues would go away, remove the fields that I added. I think it's phone number as well. And save. So there are no errors anymore, and I can replace those fields with something else or just leave them out. But it's very copied over very quickly. Now once you have your layout, the final thing to do would be to change the report layout selection so that it actually, if you went to the sales order and print it from there, that it actually uses that new layout that you created. See, right now it's still using that old Word layout. For this, you need to go back to the report layout selection page. Change the selected layout from the Word built-in to custom layout. And now it automatically pops up and you can choose the Word layout, the custom one that you created. Hit OK. Come back on your sales order form page. And now when you print this, it'll print the new custom layout that you created. With the discounts and the shipment date, everything that we added. So that's that. So in closing, as you saw, nothing is exactly perfect. It's not. There's some limitations compared to the RDLC. There's no kind of conditional printing of the lines. The linear processing of it kind of limits how much grouped data that you can do, which is why I said it's more for simple printing. Simple printing, and the totaling has to be done inside the data set as well. But I feel that it's a really good option for customers that could that want to have a simple sales order and also copy them to different reports as well. There's not really copy them to different reports, and it's nothing really too difficult about it compared to the RDLC, where it's almost that you pretty much can do it on your own, as it's just simple word formatting with the cells and things like that. So like I said, it's a new option from NAV 2015 forward, and they're most likely gonna add more Word layout reports in the future. Are there any questions?
No, Richard, we do not have any questions.
All right. Well, it comes to the end of my presentation.
Well, thank you so much, and I want to thank everybody for attending today. Just to remind you, we did record this webinar, so we will have it up on our website by the end of the day. That is enovia.com, and we look forward to seeing everybody on our next webinar.